Yo, what's poppin' guys, and welcome to another Scratch game review. Today we're looking at a game called The Impossible Game made by GeeSuper. It's called The Impossible Game. So far it looks like I'm the only view. That's cool, that's cool. We got some cloud variables. I wonder what he's gonna do with that. Arrow keys to move, avoid touching the balls or the edges. Okay. There's a thing outside. Here we go. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh boy. We got a bit of a challenge here. What's the 7 for? Oh, how long someone survived? I bet so. Wait a minute. Okay, no, they do track. Never mind. I'm just bad. Okay. I get it. I get it. I see where... I forgot can't touch corners. I can see where it's going. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Oh. I thought maybe. Oh boy. It's throwing me off. Okay. Seems like one always is gonna hit me. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, alright. Oh my goodness. It's quick. And you guys thought Hunter was hard. That's a joke. Oh boy. Maybe I should make an incredibly difficult game. Oh boy. Oh man. There's always one that hits the middle. I want to see how long you can go without it. Oh. Oh wait, the middle ones moved again? I thought I'd be safe from those ones. Oh no, they all start moving. That's not good. Uh-oh. Okay. Alright. Oh boy. Okay. Oh man. How'd you survive 7 seconds, if that's what that is? If that's a world record. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, oh, come on. We got 7. There's no way. We got 7. We didn't even beat it. No, I want to beat it. I want to beat it. That's just the kind of person I am. I have to win. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, just relax. As long as we relax, we should... I should have just relaxed. Okay. This is fine. The sides. It's the sides. I wish I could touch them. Huh. I beat it! I beat it! Get out of here! Get out! I'm gonna try a few more times. I want to keep going. I want to see how high I can get this. Okay, seems like the strat is to stay down here. Nope, never mind, I lied. Let's try up here. Hide under the world record. Wow, it knew I was gonna be there. It for sure knew. Oh boy. That 8th second that I was on felt like it took forever to actually do anything. Oh, I got trapped. Oh boy. Okay, oh. This is fine. This is fine. Ah! Alright. Let's keep going. I'm still down to keep going. Okay. 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 11! We got 11! Bet. Okay. I'm happy with 11. I am more than happy with 11. Let's see who is all beating these. So, oh boy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're getting 40s? That can't be right. That's got to be... So G was playing it all by himself. Got up to 7. And I got 8, and then 9, and then 10, and then 11. Awesome. If y'all want to do something cool, come up on the leaderboard and take a screenie with me. That'd be cool. Take a screenie and put it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, go join it. Alright, so let's see what I would change. Very minor things. I mean, it's a very basic minigame. I understand it. Oh my goodness. Nope, grab that. There we go. It's a very basic system. I understand. This is probably, if I'd have to guess, I'd say it's one of his first games. So what I'd change first of all is the backdrop. I changed backdrop first of all because I don't know. I just think it's nice to have something nice to look at. Maybe we're like in the sky. We'll be in the sky. There's some clouds. And then here we go. Look at that. Okay, nice. Now what I'd add is I would add a... What would be good? Okay, first of all, high score. Definitely, I'd definitely show that so they'd be able to tell. And then your score goes here. Just like that. Something simple like that. Yeah. Oh boy. Whoa, they shot real quick. Wow, I just love being attracted to those. Oh. Alright. Alright, I think that looks good. I think that looks good. Anything else I would add just right off the bat? If I were to add something, it'd be just for neatness. It'd be right here. So, like, not export. I don't know why I just did that. I have no idea why I did that. No, it'd be to do a system where it shows you the name of who's the record holder. So what you do there is you'd make a variable and check cloud variable and do like high score holder. I'll do okay. Then it'd either be here or like down here. I think I'll put it down here. Then how we do that is we would do a decoding system, because obviously you can't have a cloud variable be a word, right? You can't have cloud variables be letters. It just doesn't. I mean, it shows it there, but it won't actually go through. So how do we get around that? We do a little decoding system and an encoding system. So how do we do that? Pretty easy. So set high score to score. Then we will do, oh boy. Yeah, we'll do, okay, when the green flag is clicked, now let's put it under the thing that he already has set right here. If your score is greater than high score, then set it. Alright. So then it will set high score. We could just do username, but again, that won't really work. So what we need to do is we need to make another variable that will do like an encode. Encode. Oh, that's not how you spell encode. So encode. You can hide that. And we'll set encode to username. Right there. So now encode. Set to my DK minigame, right? Oh, I just realized I'm not on DK. Oh no, this isn't a tutorial. What am I talking about? Doesn't matter, I'm not on tutorial. Yeah, DK minigame. Cool. Then what it'll do is we need to make a list. Call list letters. Letters and symbols. There we go. Just set it here for the meantime. So what we need to do is we could run it underneath one of these, but just for the sake of being easy, I'm going to put a new one here. It's going to start, and it's going to delete all of letters and symbols. And then it will add, and we'll start going through all this. A, y'all know this process. B, see, I'll come back after this process is done. Alright, I'm back. So we've added all the letters, everything that can basically be fit into a username. So we got all the letters, the two symbols. That I don't know why that's a plus. That should not be a plus. It should be an underscore. You got dash, underscore, and then all the numbers. If you're gonna wonder how are we gonna encode and decode a number, I'll show you that in a second. So right off the bat, we set encode to username. Right. First of all, when you click this, boom. You have all the stuff, all the good stuff. So what we need to do is we need to set up a little system that runs through all these. So what it will do, so that starts with an encode, sets our encode to username. Then what we need to check is we need to make a new list called encoding. Take this list and put it here. This is some complex stuff. It's just me being weird. Let's put encoding over here. So it'll delete all of encoding, just to empty it all. Then we'll do a repeat username time. No, not username time. Repeat, come into here. Hey, Black Mage is on. Repeat length of username time. So length of the username is 11 because there's 11 characters in my username, so length is 11. Cool, now that we did that, what we need to do is make a new variable, and I like to call them change whenever I do something like this. Just call it change. You don't need to make it a cloud variable. You don't need to show it. So set change instantly to 0. And then in here, change by 1. Alright, now that you did that, what you will do is grab yourself an if. Oh boy. How am I going to go about doing this? 1 second. Okay. What we want to do really fast is set up, not a variable, a new list called numbers. These are numbers of D for when we decode. Okay? So these numbers will be specific things. So, for example, these are to numbers. So we'll add 1 for A, and it'll go all the way to 26. So I'll be right back when you have 26. Alright, so here we go. See, we have our numbers A1, B2, C3, all the way down to Z26. Now what about these other ones? That's very simple. Literally super easy. So 27 will be our dash. 28 will be our underscore. 1 will be, let's do something like 1 will be, yeah, let's just continue the cycle. 29, 2 is 30, that's 20, 30, and so on. So I'll finish this up. Alright, so GeeSuper, if you're following along right now and you want to add this, here's what it should look like. You should have all the way down to here, all the way down to 0, and then there should be 38 in your numbers. So whenever you go boop, boop, you have 38 things in letters and symbols, and you should also have 38 in numbers, and all numbers should obviously be in chronological order. All letters and symbols, yeah, if you're going to follow this code exactly, put it in this order, which is A, B, C, D, A all the way down to Z, then dash, then underscore, then 1 to 9, and then a 0. Pretty easy. So now, how do we actually start doing encoding, Deku? Well, I'll show you really quick. So, alright guys, so I might have gone a little crazy with this method of how I did this. Um, I kind of just threw it together real quick. If you look at the time right now, it's probably changed a bit since we first started. That's how long it took me to come up with this. But hey, I'm going to walk through it right now. No way I'm redoing it on camera, but I'll just walk through it. So, what you're going to need to do, first of all, you see, okay, so as you know, I like to get kind of messy on here while I do stuff. But yeah, there's kind of a lot of stuff right here at the moment. Don't worry, all this stuff that you see on screen that's not necessary will not be shown. Trust me, you won't need to show this at all. All you'll really show is your score, high score, and the high score holder. First of all, change the high score holder from a cloud variable to a normal variable. Just delete it and then make a new one and make it a normal variable. If you haven't already. So high score holder should not be cloud. Alright, sound good? Next, what you're going to want to create is you're going to want to create another cloud variable called high score encode. Just create it. Don't do anything with it, just create it. Then you want to create a variable. All these other variables are not cloud. You're going to create a variable called add, one called change, one called decode, one called encode, one called format. Yeah, make all those. Then, once you are done with that, we can finally start getting some coding done. So, this might look familiar right here. Here's your little score. Here's what it looked like before. Here's what you had, right? That's what you had. Looks perfect, right? Here's how to make it say it. So you're going to start by deleting all. Okay, right. Also, sorry, I forgot. I'm getting ahead of myself. Make some lists. Make a list called decoded, one called decoding, one called encoded, one called encoding. And again, you should already have letters and symbols and numbers. So just make decoded, decoding, encoded, encoding. So, delete all of encoding, delete all of encoded, delete all of decoding, delete all of decoded. That'll clear these 4 lists right here so that you have a free template to start using stuff. Because if anything is in these and you start doing stuff, it'll mess it all up. Set your change to 0. And then we will repeat the length of your username time. I have 11 characters in my username. So length of username is 11. So it'll repeat this 11 times. It'll repeat this little bit of information 11 times. Change by 1. So remember it was 0, so by changing it by 1, it'll change it to 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So it'll eventually get all the way up to 11, since it's only repeating this 11 times. So change by 1. Set add to letter change of username. So letter change, so we know our change will, well, it's not 11 right now, but if we did this, it'd be 1. So our change is 1 right now. So letter change of username, it'll say E because that's the last letter. But so letter 1 of username. So mine in this case would be D because letter 1 of my username is a D. So it sets add to D. Set format to item number of add in letters and symbols. That might sound like a bit. I'll walk you through it. So you're setting format, a new variable that so far has nothing put into it, to item add of letters and symbols. Remember, add right now is D, right? Our add is D. So again, that'll be whatever. Don't worry about that. So our add right now is D. Okay? So item number of add in letters and symbols. So add is D. So what is D in letters and symbols? Letters and symbols, D equals 4. So yeah, there's the 4 next to the D. If you can't see it, see we have D here, and then there's a 4 next to it. So item number D is 4. Sound good? So now our format is 4. Format is 4, add is D. Then what it'll do is it will add item number of format in numbers to encoding. Now what that means is format we know is 4 now. We've established that our format is 4. Item number of format in numbers, so that means item 4 in numbers. And our item 4 in numbers is 4. 4 equals 4. In numbers to encoding. So it'll then add the number 4 to this list. Okay? Then that's the end of that repeat. Underneath this repeat. So that's our repeat. That's all you should have so far. Right underneath that, you're going to add encoding to encoded. So instantly, so it's going to do that, right? It's going to go through every single letter. So let's just see what this does so far. So right now, boom, it puts all the numbers. So again, this is D. 11 in the alphabet is K. 28, R28, if you look here, is an underscore, which makes sense because my name has an underscore in it. And then M-I-N-I, and you get how it works. You get how it works. So that's all it does so far. Next, what it will do is it will add encoding this to encoded, which will just collect these all into one and put it in encoded. Boom. Now all the numbers are on one. And it automatically puts spaces in between each of them, which is good. Spaces will come in handy. Okay? Alright. I'm just going to pop that back underneath. You will now set decode to encoded, which means you're setting decode to encoded. Your list encoded is that. This string is the same. So you're setting a variable to it. Instead of setting a list, you're setting a variable now. So, and then you'll set your high score encode to encoded. So that means this will be saved. This number is what's saved over the cloud. Okay? This big old number, which again is DK_MINIGAME. DK minigame. That's what that says, just in number form. Okay? So you're setting high score encode to encoded. Set change to 0, just like we did here, because we're going to do another repeat. Repeat length of decode. Now that we set decode to encoded, our decode is pretty long, right? But length of it, the length of decode, how many characters are here? Spaces count as a character. 26. This information right here will repeat 26 times. Change by 1, which again will set change to 1. Set add to letter change of decode. So change is 1. Decode is this big thing. So letter 1 of decode, in decode, letter 1 is 4. So, oh boy, where did that just go? Oh boy. Oh yeah, right here. Set add to letter change of decode. So, it should be 4, should be the first one. And then it'll check if add, which again, we just set add. So if add equals, this is a space, this is not empty. Make sure if you're doing this, you put a space here, not nothing. Space. So if add equals space, meaning if it detected, so let's say it did 4 already. And then the next character is a space. So if it detects a space, so let's say it doesn't detect a space. Let's say it just detects a 4 first. So if it doesn't detect a space, then it will run this piece of code. If it does detect a space, it'll run this piece. But right now it only detects a 4. So it's detecting this piece. It will add to decoding. Add, since we did it, we set it, would then be a 4, meaning you're adding 4 to decoding, meaning a 4 will pop up right here in this little decoding thing. A 4 should pop up. Okay, cool. Now we did that. Now so since we're done, that's the end of that, which means it'll repeat itself again. Change it, set it to 2. Then it will set add to letter change of decode. Now letter change is 2, and 2 of decode, if you look, is a space. So if it's a space, which it is, it'll set format to decoding. Decoding is, so far, just a 4. 4 would be the only thing that would be in decoding. So it'll set format to decode. Then, this one's kind of big. It will add item number of item format of letters and symbols in letters and symbols to decoded. You're confused. I can tell you're confused. Just hang in there. I'll explain what that means. So, let's break this down. So item blank in letters and symbols. So let's run through what this is first. Item format of letters and symbols. So format would be 4 because we're setting format to whatever is in decoding, which right now the only thing that'd be in decoding would be 4. So format right now, don't listen to what this says because I haven't done it yet. Format equals 4. So item 4 in letters and symbols. What's item 4 in letters and symbols? A D. All right, item 4 in letters and symbols is a D. So item number, now we put this in here. So item number of D in letters and symbols is again a D. It's just a double check to make sure it's doing it right. So item number D in letters and symbols. D in letters and symbols is D. 4. Get it? It's back and forth. And you're setting that in decoded, meaning you will be putting a D in decoded. Not a 4, you'll be putting a D in decoding. You'll be taking your 4 from decoding, decoding it to the letter being D, and putting it in decoding. and then it will delete all of decoding, meaning it'll empty this decoding slot again so it can make room for the next amount of numbers. Alright, that's all that. It'll repeat that 11 times. So, let's run everything we have so far. So, first of all, right here, this little bit first. All it should do is put all of our stuff into encoding. That's it. Boom. All of our numbers in encoding. Now, we run this little bit of piece of code, and it puts it all into encoded. So far, so good. Now, we're on this part. This is the part we just did. So what this will end up doing is it will put our name into decoded. It'll put our username into decoded in pieces. It won't put it all in at once, in pieces. Let's check it. Boom. Oh no, sorry, it'll put numbers. I'm sorry. So put numbers. 4. Yep. It's taking this, okay? It's taking encoded how it's all clumped up into one, and it's putting it and it's re-putting it out. So we took encoding and we clumped it together and made encoded. Now we're taking encoding, ripping it apart, and bringing it back to the way encoding is, but in decoding. Trust me, don't just take encoding and add it to decoded. Don't do that. That's bad. Keep going the way we're going. So there we go. Now we have my name in numbers again. But again, the reason we put it through and didn't just put encoding into decoded is because we needed to encode it all so it could set the high score. Oh boy, why did I even do that? Oh yeah, so it can set the high score, like the high score encode. Yeah, right here. The high score encode cloud variable to this big whole hunk of stuff. So it's important that we did that. Okay, there we go. It did everything right in this little chunk of code. Now let's move on to the next chunk, piece by piece. So now we will add decoding to decoded. What does that mean? See, look, there's still a 5 in here. That 5 is the E in my name. Realize how it's not here? 13. That's this last thing. That means my name right now is DkUniverse. So we need to add this last part, because it won't run it again because there's no more characters. So it will not run it again to be able to detect a space to put 5 in here. So what we do is we just add decoding to decoded. Boom, and if I actually did that. Yeah, and then it added the 5. Then we delete all of decoding, which will then delete the 5, get the 5 out of there, and delete all of encoded, meaning we'll get rid of this big patch of numbers. We don't need it anymore. We set the cloud variable to that, so we're safe. Set your change to 0 because we're doing a big repeat again. So, repeat length of decoded. Decoded right now is 11 long, which, to test to make sure you're doing everything right, there's 11 characters in my name, and there's 11 decoded. This number should be the same as your username. So length of decoded, this should be 11. 11, there we go. So this little hunk of code will repeat 11 times. Change by 1, meaning again we're setting change to 1 because it's set to 0 here, and we change it by 1, meaning it's now 1. So I'm just going to say this and then I'll explain it. Set format to item change of decoded of letters and symbols. You're confused. I'll explain it. Don't worry. I'll run through it. I'll hope and make sure that you understand what's going on. So, break it down. Item change of decoded. We've established that change is back to 1. Again, ignore that because I haven't actually went through this yet. So, setting change to 1. So, item 1 of decoded. What's our item 1 of decoded? 1 is 4. So we're starting at 4 and we're going down the list. Okay, now, what do we put it in here for? So, item 4, because this is 4, remember, this would be 4. Again, it's not just because I haven't ran this little bit of code that does that. So this is 4. This is defined as 4 right now. So item 4 of letters and symbols. What's item 4? Item 4 of letters and symbols? Hey, that's a D, the first letter of the name. That's good. So we're setting format to that. Format will be D. And then you'll add format to decoding. Now we're putting the letter D. We're taking this 4, changing it to a D, and putting it in decoding. Okay? And we'll do that through all of our characters. Alright? So, let's test that a little bit. So let's start from the top. From the top. So we start, boom, we just get the numbers in encoding. We run this little bit, and it puts all this, clumps it into one, and puts it in encoded. We run this bit of code, and it should add the numbers to decoded. Boom. Adds the numbers to decoded. Now again, there's no 5. There's no 5 in here, but it's in here. That's okay, because we run it right here. Boom. We take 5 and we put it at the bottom. And then it'll delete this when we run this. Boom. It runs that, and it decodes everything that's in decoded into letters, and then it puts it into our decoding slot. Now we have DK_mini-game. Right? Alright. Time for the last part. Set high score holder. Right? The one that you'll show to decoding. Because right now, decoding is DK minigame. You will not have your stuff be uppercased. It is not case sensitive, which that's the only downside. Then it will delete all of decoded, delete all of decoding, delete all of encoded, delete all of encoding, delete all of encoded. Let's run through this all one more time, and then we'll do it all at once. Boom. Have our numbers in encoding. Run this, it clumps it all up, puts it in encoded. Run this piece of code, it should run it all, declump this, and put it in decoded. Boom. It does that. But hey, 5's missing. It's still stuck up there in decoded. We run this little bit, it puts 5 in there. We run this little bit, it takes 5 out, decodes all these to their letters and symbols, and puts it in decoding. Run this last bit, and it takes decoding, clumps it all up, puts it in your high score holder, and then deletes all of it. Let's put this all together now for a final product. Let's put these all together, just like that. Now let's try it. When we click this, you should barely see anything change. You see stuff flash, but this should still be DkUniverse when we're done. Okay? So, to even show you this, that it's going to work, we'll set high score holder to like nerd. Okay, look, right now, some nerd holds the high score, but I'm gonna beat them. So we beat their score, and then this will happen. Clicks it, and now look at that. High score holder is back to my nickname. And you see how fast it flashed through that? It did all that code in like a fraction of a second. But hey, now it says who it is. So take this big hunk of code you just did, go and smack it right underneath where you had your score and high score. Now, how about when someone runs the game? When someone runs the game, it's not gonna load all this stuff. So, I have a script that actually does. So when the green flag is clicked, set your high score holder, this thing that says DK minigame right now, to 0. Set it to nothing. Delete all of decoded, delete all of decoding, delete all of encoded, delete all of encoding. Pretty easy. So right off the bat, when you start this, boom, deletes these 4 and sets high score holder to 0. Pretty easy. Let's run through this. We got a big block. We have a big block here. Okay. So let's just start from the start. Set decode to high score encode. Remember, our high score encode was saved. It's our big string. This is the name. This is my name. This is DK minigame. Remember that. So we're setting decode to high score. And now this might look familiar. That's because it's this big block right here. Now we're just decoding it again. It's all that again. So if you want to, just come down to here, find this length of decode, right? Find this length of decode, just duplicate it, take this stuff off the bottom, drag this up here, drag this all up to here, and then just smack it in. Well, no, actually don't. Not under this. Oh, wait. Sorry. I meant just the add. Just the add. I'm sorry. Just that add part. Oh, no, it is the decode part. I'm a stupid. I'm a stupid. Yeah. Just take this. You just smack that right underneath. Because you realize how it's exactly the same? Yeah. So there we go. Does all that. We've already went through that, so I won't go through it now. You will add decoding to decoded. Decoding will then, again, be, at this point, it will be DK minigame spelled out in letters and symbols in decoding. It adds it to decoded. It deletes both of them. It deletes decoding and encoded. It sets change to 0. Then we repeat length of decoded times. Decoded length should be 11 because it will now be our name, and our name has 11 characters in it. Change by 1, set format, item change, which would be 1, of decoded, which would be D, right? Letters and symbols, it'll run all through that. Then set high score holder to decoding, which at that point should be the word, DkUniverse. And delete all 4 of these blocks just to make sure everything's running all smooth. Let's put these together and run the whole code. So again, our high score is 0. But of course we already have our high score encoded cloud variable, which saves as this long decode text. Let's click the green flag and see if this high score holder changes to my name. Look at that. It did. It did. It actually saved. It actually saved. And then after that, when you're done, is you just hide all this stuff that you don't need to see. Just like that. Here's your game. Here's what we have. You're on the game. Boom. Says DK minigame. And then you just start playing. You just start playing. Shows your minigame. Shows your name. Oof. Oof. And then the second you'd beat the score, it'd change the name. But I don't think I'm going to beat a score of 11. Oh my goodness. Maybe. I'll try one more time. Oh, there we go. Okay, whatever. You get it. It works. It works. That huge string that we just did right here, while very complex, and as I can see, this is probably one of your first games. This is obviously probably very overwhelming for you. Don't feel like you have to add this. This is what I would add if I made this game. But yeah, there we go. I'll probably make a whole separate video explaining this more in detail. Actually, it probably came out this Friday, or the Friday before this video, because that's the video I'm going to make next, is just this. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because this was a fun system to come up with. And GeeSuper, your game was fun. Your game was very fun. I did enjoy it. And also, I got a high score, so haha. Join the Discord if you haven't already. According to YouTube, you know, a very low amount of my audience is subscribed. So if you just go subscribe, that'd be super nice. It's free and you can cancel whenever you want. You know how that goes. While you're at it, want to subscribe to the channel? Like I just said, do it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Also join the Discord, do that too.